Interruptions to your cold chain can create many problems like spoilage, changes in appearance and taste or smell of a product, and the growth of harmful bacteria and more. Preventing any interruption of the cold chain is critical for your product's quality. Let's take a look at some of the cold chain challenges you may have to face and how you can keep interruptions at bay. Regulations for the cold chain are ever-changing and complex, which is why they are one of the major challenges faced today. If your cold chain is worldwide, it can be more complicated as there is no one global regulating entity. Each region has its own regulations, compliance mandates, and enforcement agencies. In the US, the Federal Agency for Food and Pharmaceuticals is the FDA. Most cold chain food regulations come from the FDA's Food and Safety Modernization Act of 2017, or FSMA. This regulation covers the cleanliness and function of equipment, protocols for transportation, employee training on the proper handling of food in the cold chain, and records of all FSMA compliance. When it comes to pharmaceutical products, many regulations such as these affect the cold chain. In Canada, the authority is their government. The Canadian Food and Drugs Act was passed in 1920 and revised in 1985. It regards the production, import, export, and transport across provinces for food, drugs, and cosmetics. It ensures products are safe, ingredients disclosed, and drugs are effective. Many other countries refer to ICH guidelines, gathering data on a product's safety and efficacy to establish a cold chain strategy. ICH brings together many regulatory authorities to discuss data and establish these guidelines. Gathered data is used to consider the duration of temperature excursions that can occur across distribution channels. Regulations can be complex and demanding at times, but they all have the same goals of retaining safety, quality, transparency, and efficacy of cold chain commodities. The biggest key to keep compliance of cold chain regulations is increasing end-to-end visibility in your cold chain. Keeping proper documentation of data throughout the supply chain can seem difficult, but modern technology like a transportation management system or a TMS can simplify this cold chain challenge. Current technology applications like GPS tracking, ELD data, Internet of Things, and a TMS can give you advanced analytics and reporting that would otherwise be comprised of manual processes. Not only does technology offer you savings in time, but of human error as many processes become automated. Another significant cold chain challenge is the increasing spotlight on sustainability. The distribution and transportation of temperature-controlled products have shown to be major causes of greenhouse gas emissions. In comparison to other supply chain transportation, cold chain transport consumes 20% more fuel than other heavy vehicles types due to refrigeration equipment. There are also growing issues and increasing regulations on refrigerant gases used in cooling systems as they are responsible for high greenhouse gas emissions. Because of the increasing pressure of sustainability and its regulations on the cold chain, many large food and pharmaceutical companies now have plans in place to reduce their carbon emissions. Some ways to consider adding sustainability is improving your cold chain management to reduce waste and your carbon footprint, or considering alternative transportation modes like intermodal versus truckload when shipping your products. One of the biggest and most common challenges in cold chain logistics is maintaining the required temperature of the product throughout the entire supply chain. As your product moves through the cold chain, it can get exposed to temperatures outside of what's required. Whenever loading and unloading your product, handling should be as quick as possible. Preventing prolonged exposure to temperature changes prevents having problems with quality. There are many different ways to package your cold chain freight so it can keep its cool. If it's not done right or in mind of your transit time, your goods can spoil before arrival. Keeping track of the temperature throughout your cold chain is another way to combat exposure to temperature changes. Temperature monitoring systems are quickly replacing any manual processes of collecting temperature information, saving time and preventing spoiled products. This also allows cold chain managers insight into their problem areas and being able to fix them. Some of these temperature monitoring systems are RFID, or wireless sensor networks, thermal imaging, and temperature loggers. Another significant cold chain challenge is available capacity. Capacity is always a challenge for any industry, but even more so for the cold chain. When freight is in high demand across industries and capacity slim, drivers can pick and choose what shipments they want to take based on high rates. This can further reduce reefer availability because drivers can choose to utilize their trailer as a dry van or to haul commodities with higher rates. Cold storage warehousing is seeing the strain as well because of the growing freight demand. More storage space is needed in the supply chain and new buildings are being built, but those currently in production are needing their building supplies puts yet another strain on shipping capacity until that demand has decreased. You can prepare as best you can for these challenges, but sometimes it's nice to know you'll have backup when you need it most. By working with Trinity, you can gain access to the data you need to improve your performance and output, find equipment and capacity when you're finding it difficult, and work with someone who understands current regulations no matter the region or type of commodity. To learn more about Trinity, visit our website or subscribe to our YouTube channel to learn more in logistics.